Hello everybody, welcome to another rapid speedrun game against Altair bin Lahad, rated 1500 on the dot. He does not push. Why? He's afraid. This is the only reason they don't push. They are afraid because of their lack of knowledge and experience. So it makes sense. So he just develops and then he says, you know what? I was afraid, but I've overcome my fear in the past two moves, and now I'm going to push. Fine with us. We get our Benoni. We close the pawn chain. We have our Fianchetto with a weird move order, but so what? He now brings out the bishop. Not doing much of anything. We don't really care. We castle. We have our setup. We're ready to pin the knight, develop our knight. A6, B5. We have our plan ready to go. He's likely to develop his knight and even push the e-pawn yet again at some point. Kind of wasting a tempo. There's castling. There's normal stuff. So he chooses castling. I'm going to use this opportunity to get rid of one of my queenside minor pieces so I can give myself space in the Benoni structure. He develops his knight. Well, I'm going to go a6. In the Benoni, your goal, or one of them, is to expand on the queen side so you have some counterplay. How do we do that? a6, b5. Usually when you play a6, they play a4 preventing you. This guy does not, for whatever reason. He jumps his knight into the center. What is the threat? There's the trade of knights. I don't see what it does. If we take him, he puts his bishop here, which misplaces his bishop, so super weird. It even allows us to get an f5 for free, which is the second pawn break you try to get in the Benoni in addition to b5. So I'm going to take this and misplace his bishop. Now, do I want to get in the free f5? Notice I traded more pieces, so I have more space. So now this knight has an additional square, and I open up my bishop. So you can see that trading some stuff is nice in the Benoni. Now you don't want to take the knight and let his bishop, not that that's a great square, but even then. Now that his bishop is no longer controlling b5, I think we should not play f5, and we should play b5 because it's available. And I think whenever you can get it in, you should get it in. And even when you can't get it in, you should get it in. Hear what I'm saying? It's called a pawn sacrifice. Anyway, now we have it in. Our rook is open. He immediately undefends the pawn that we're attacking. So that's weird. But I think, oh, I see. He's just getting out of the alignment, defending this so he can develop. But these are the practical problems they face in the Benoni. Now f5, you could throw it in if you want. But I think it's funnier if he goes, well, I guess you never actually trap the bishop. Okay, I mean, we could take the free pawn, right? Wait, is it free if we take this queen b3? Rook and pawn. Rook a5, queen a5. Let's say queen a5. Protects the rook and the pawn. And then you can always push the pawn if... Okay, so you could probably just take this guy. And if we just get this clean pawn with this type of alignment, then it's basically a win condition because this bishop becomes a hard carry with the open center. He finds this move, but this... I think we just develop and defend. It's very natural. Knight goes here, rook goes here. He can move his knight because it's unpinned, but like, is that really improving it? We can always just move our bishop. It's not like we're stuck or anything. And now that this pawn's here and his bishop's not going to ever see this diagonal, if he kicks you, I mean, you could just take the knight because this doesn't like help his bishop. But if this diagonal is open, then I would be more hesitant. Currently, if he attacks your queen further, you have moves like queen a4. And as I say it, he does it. But I said also you have moves like b4. A move you might want to make anyway in this type of pawn structure to get everything on the dark. We are up a pawn. A queen trade would assist us. I'm going to go here. It also attacks the bishop. It's a double attack. He could go queen c2 and try to trade on his terms, but I don't see what that does. He takes. Instead of messing up our pawn structure, let's recapture, maintain our pawn integrity, and create a threat. Granted, this pawn was hanging, but we already have our pawn. And once you have the pawn, and you have b5 in, and you have your counterplay on the a file, you already have everything you need in these types of structures. So he pushes the pawn so it's never hanging, and it hits the rook. Drawback, not paying attention. Not paying attention. And so there's no amount of knowledge you can learn in chess that will help you not hang your bishop. Not hanging pieces is a matter of repetition and practice. So that's why you have to do tactics, so you can repeatedly see which pieces are hanging and stuff like that. You just have to do exercises again and again and again. And then your brain notices that stuff, because it's not a matter of thinking, it's a matter of seeing. So anyway, he moves his knight. What's the threat? He hits our rook. He doesn't resign. He says, you know what, your rook's kind of trapped, so maybe I got you. Did he get us? No. Is it trapped? No. And if it was trapped, you can even make a move like rook b4. Getting two bishops for the rook, clearly good for black. But we do have a square that's untouched, and I don't see what's wrong with it, considering it comes with a double threat. He goes here. He had the move prepared, but once again, not paying very much attention, hanging a second piece in his misery. He got the bishop trade, so golf clap as he resigns. So his aggressive moves meant nothing. It was just a little bit of venting. So we try to get the Benoni. Normally, d5 comes right away, and generally if they don't play it right away, they're not going to play it. Sometimes they'll add one extra support point and play it, but they usually don't play it. Like, if they play e3, they generally keep this structure because they don't want to push. Because if you want to push, a lot of times you like to go e4. You still could go e3, but in my experience, if they play something like this, they generally don't push afterwards. This guy did though, so it was an exception. But anyway, fianchetto development. Development, king safety. Center and development. King safety, development. Development, center. And removing our crampedness. It's not even prophylaxis, it's really just to set up a future b5, queenside expansion, because normally I would say that's where you get your counterplay, but considering the way he played, our bishop and the e5 square, maybe we could try to play there, but he should shut it down. Anyway, you want a queenside expand. Free stuff because I think it misplaces his bishop for us, and more importantly, definitely more important than the bishop placement, is b5. The bishop placement is important in the sense it allows b5. So we play the queenside expansion because we can. Force move, and black is -1. So notice how we're not up a pawn here. And when you play the Benoni, generally the engine will say that white is +1. So even though material will be even, it'll say white is about a pawn better. So if you have a Benoni structure, but you're a pawn better without actually being a pawn up, that means you're a lot better, if that makes any sense. Anyway, the second he moves the rook, it goes from -1, black has a very pleasant active position, to completely losing once he hangs his pawn -3. And I told you that it's all you need in a position like this. You don't need to get anything else. If you got in b5, your rook is in the game, you're already doing well, which is why I said -1. But then if you get a pawn on top of that, that's like way more than you need. You have your win condition, and the engine confirms. He attacks us, but I mean, we have a very simple develop and defense. And here you could have played b4. Queen a4 is ever so slightly more accurate. There's even funny move c4, but we don't want to mess with stuff like that. So we find the most accurate move. I couldn't tell you exactly why this is slightly more accurate than that, but from a human standpoint, we're up a pawn. I know we have all the activity and pawn structure and criteria we need to win the game, so a queen trade can only help. And we're attacking the bishop, so it seems a little more accurate. Force move, free stuff. Force move, free stuff. And that was a quick game. 97% accuracy, not even an inaccuracy by us. Very smooth Benoni game. Just take note how it transpired, exactly what the flow was. Try to look and see. Okay, we traded. We managed to queenside expand. Oh, he hung a pawn. Oh, we're developing defending. Oh, we want the queen trade. And then it just try to follow the flow of games when you watch them. Like after you go move by move, just play through it and see what it looks like a dance. See if you can follow. Anyway, good luck in your chess. Submit your rapid games in the comments down below. I'll pick one. Goodbye.